Hello everybody. In today's video, I want to tackle a topic which has probably been done to death. There are 1000 video essays about this already, but I don't care. I want to give my take, my personal observations on this, which is how both Black Knife and Lost Girl derive from Nightmare Night. Therefore, Black Knife has the Lost Girl motif because they both come from the same source, which gave birth to both of them. And by the way, I am aware that Black Knife is mostly just the chase, but one could argue either the chase is the original and Black Knife is like the remix, or Black Knife is the original and the chase is the remix, right? Which is the original leitmotif. Either way, the original leitmotif is actually just Nightmare Night. Today I'm going to demonstrate this. So basically, there is this contour of notes which keeps happening throughout the three songs. Nightmare Night, most important part is this part, the beginning. At first I wrote down the second part, the faster part with the key change, but it just creates more confusion. The best thing to do is to stick to the beginning. So here we are in D minor, and look at what's happening in these three bars. We have A, F, A, F, E, C, A, G. Okay, what does this mean? In D minor, here we have the fifth of the chord, the fifth of the scale, A. Then we have an F, which is the third of the chord, the minor third. And then we have this, we're gonna skip this for now. Then we have this four notes, which is the F note in the octave above. And then there are these three descending notes, which are just basically an A minor chord, ending with G, one whole step underneath the A. Okay, perfect. Look at Black Knife now. Look at this part at the first two bars of Black Knife. We are in G sharp minor. Let's pretend it's not sharp for the sake of the notes, it's the same thing. G. We have a D, which is the fifth of the chord. Then we have the B, the octave above B, which is the fifth of the chord. The third. I'm losing my mind. The third of the chord. And then there is this chord, A, F, D, which is D minor, and C, one whole step underneath the D. It makes sense even with all the sharps. So basically, the only difference between Black Knife and Nightmare Night is the presence of this single note, which is just the fifth of the chord again. So basically, in Nightmare Night, the octave leap doesn't happen straight away. It happens with this note in the middle, which also shifts the melody. So here, the descending starting from the third, the octave above, and then the chord, the minor chord, which by the way is the fifth, it's the minor chord built on the fifth degree of the scale, the A minor chord, descending. Here it starts on beat 1 of the bar. Here it starts on beat 4 of the previous bar. But it's the same thing. B, A, F, D, C. It's the same as this F, E, C, A, G. It's the same thing. Now, what does Lost Girl have to do with all of this? Look, let's compare these two. Let's, for the sake of argument, pretend that these two notes are switched, right? So instead of being C, D, it's D, C. Let's look at Lost Girl. Lost Girl is in this key. It starts with a G, but this basically outlines the B minor chord. Let's pretend it starts from here. Actually, let's pretend it starts from here, from this D, for the sake of argument. Look at how the melody would supposedly go. D, F, D, C, A, F. We are in B minor. The octave above here is the D, which is also here, so there's the octave leap. Again, let's pretend that these two notes are switched, so this one comes first. Octave leap from D to D, which in B minor is the third. Again, the third jumps the octave, the third jumps the octave. Here, the D is the third, which is jumping this octave. Passing through, look, the fifth here, the F, like in Nightmare Night. If this note came first, this would look like this, and the descending notes here, which again, pretending it's C, A, F, it's the same thing as this. It's the same, it's built on the F, which is the minor chord built on the fifth degree of B minor. It's the same thing. And look at the second part of Black Knife. This is the same. Look at this. D, C, A, F, B. Look at this. D, C, A, F, B. It's the same thing, except that the key here is 1/2 tone below. This is B minor. This is B flat minor. But the notes are the same, the exact same. D, C, A, F, B, D, C, A, F, B. This is how it's all connected. And on the piano, it's even more apparent. This is just from a music theory perspective. This is just analyzing the sheet music. On the keyboard, it's even more apparent. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you at the keyboard the exact point that I was making earlier, but with the audio helping us. So, I'm going to turn everything into the Nightmare Night key because it's very simple. It's B minor. So, Nightmare Night goes like this. I'm gonna stop it here because the rest of the melody does not help us in this discussion. Okay, now Black Knife in the original key goes like this. And then it changes key basically. So it starts in G sharp minor and then it goes into A major momentarily for a couple of bars. That part, we do not care about it. Just focus on the beginning. Stop it here, because this note already doesn't belong. And finally, Lost Girl. Stop it here. The most apparent one, again, is the Black Knife Nightmare Night link. So let's turn Black Knife into D minor. Stop it here. Look at the contour. Here's Nightmare Night. Look at Black Knife. Same thing. It's the same notes. So here is the octave jump. And then here's the descending minor chord. It's the same look, the same thing. If you took Nightmare Night, removed this note and played up until here, it would sound the exact same as Black Knife. The same thing. It's the same thing with one note missing. Now, look at Lost Girl. We're gonna transpose Lost Girl to D minor as well. And again, here it would technically start with this B flat, but the B flat only serves to create this augmented seventh chord. Right, we don't need this. And as a matter of fact, we don't even need this, because the root note never appears, not in Nightmare Night, and not in Black Knife. It doesn't appear in Black Knife. So we're just gonna pretend these two notes don't exist and start playing Lost Girl from here. And then it goes into the Freedom motif momentarily. This is actually insane. But we're not gonna go into the whole like Lost Girl actually has freedom motif, which is Gaster's theme, whole discourse, because it doesn't belong to this video. We're gonna leave that to other leitmotif analyzers. I'm just gonna stop in this very moment. So again, Lost Girl starting from F. And then it goes into another motif. So we're gonna stop it here. It's again the same. Let's take Nightmare Night started from here and switch these two notes. Nightmare Night goes down, Lost Girl goes up. But it's irrelevant because it goes into other territories. What I'm concerned about is this precise melody contour. You hear that? It's the same thing. Then, going on with the second part of Black Knife and how it's the exact carbon copy of Lost Girl, just one half step below. Here is, again, Lost Girl, this part, up until this very note, this B. In its original key, by the way, I'm not complicating stuff here. Okay, cool. Listen, this is Black Knife. Then it goes to this note. We don't care. Listen again. My keyboard has a transposing function. This is Black Knife. Keep that in mind, I'm going to key change right now. So I just turned the whole keyboard one step below. I'm going to play Lost Girl in its original key, D minor, one half step down, so it's going to sound like B flat minor. Look at this. This is Lost Girl. And this is Black Knife in its original key. Now I turn the keyboard back to normal. The exact same. So, as a summary, and I hope that this may help those of you who may not have understood the first part with music theory, I've made this with colors, so maybe it's easier to visualize. The fifths are yellow, the thirds are orange, the descending minor chord is light blue. And the green note is the final note that only appears in Nightmare Night and Black Knife. So basically, Nightmare Night has this pattern of yellow, orange, blue. Black Knife omits the second yellow, so it has yellow, orange, orange. Lost Girl omits the first yellow, so it's orange, blue. Like, again, suppose the two notes are switched. And then again, Black Knife devolves into a key change, Lost Girl goes into the freedom motif. So basically, the reason why they sound so different is that they take the same core idea of the fifth, the third jumping the octave, and the minor fifth chord descending, but then they take it in two completely different directions to the point that they're completely different songs, and one could never tell. But listening to Nightmare Night truly pulls this all together, because Nightmare Night has both of the elements from both Black Knife and Lost Girl. Black Knife omits the second yellow, Lost Girl omits the first yellow, Nightmare Night has them both. In the second image, I've highlighted the way that the second part of Black Knife directly references Lost Girl. It's the exact same notes, so again we have orange, dark blue, and the two light blue notes, and I've only highlighted the C in dark blue because I wanted to show you that it's the same notes
in Lost Girl as well. They're just switched. The order is switched. So again, Black Knight has D, C, and Lost Girl has C, D. But C, A, F and C, A, F in Lost Girl are again the same notes, the same chord, in just a slightly different key, and they both end with this purple B at the end. They're even placed in the same spot in the music score, with the B being at the beginning of the next bar, which is again also kind of interesting. But yeah, I hope that this graphics helped people out to even better visualize my point that I'm trying to make.